Hey guys, welcome to your, man, we're getting close. It's almost your last week of assignments for English. To those of you who are going to be taking the exam soon, good luck. Keep studying and let me know if you need to move some due dates around. That is totally fine with me. So this week we are going to be doing something a little more creative. To get ourselves ready for the final assignment for this semester. So if you take a look with me at the overview, there are three major things we'll work on this week. Your second to last round of journals, you'll revise the writing formative number 2 if you need to, and then we have a creative writing piece. So the way I scheduled it out for this week is that I just popped these journal entries onto these days, but obviously you can do them whenever. I put the writing formative number 2 revision here because I think it's probably smart to do it quickly while it's still fresh in your mind. Those should already be ready for you. You should have gotten a remind notification about them. So the writing formative revision is only for those of you who didn't master all the skills. Just like the last time we did this, I have some directions on a slide here for that. And then I have this set up for the unit plan. I don't know if you still have the unit plan left, but this is a good way for you to think through which skills did you master, and looking at the gradebook to see that. So what you're going to do to revise is just like the same exact thing you did for writing formative number 1. You'll go to Blackboard and open the Blackboard rubric, and you'll open your gradebook so that you can see two things. In the Blackboard rubric, you'll be able to see which of these skills you mastered because you'll have 3s or 4s. In the Blackboard gradebook, it'll say RL6, and then it'll say all of this text. If you got a 3, that means for RL6, you got a 3. If you got a 4, you got a 4. If you didn't master it yet, you'll see it in the gradebook as you didn't master it yet. There are two different entries in the rubric for RL9. So you'll see RL9, I explained how authors use blah, blah, blah. RL9, I interpreted why authors write about cultural norms, blah, blah, blah. So if both of those are checked off and they're both 3s, that means you got a 3 for RL9. If one is checked off and you got a 3, and one is not checked off, right, you didn't master it yet, then that means when it's time to revise, all you have to do is revise the part that you didn't master before. For most of these, that's like including evidence or just improving some explanations. It's not going to be a ton of extra work. So then you'll follow the same process for W9. That should help you make sure that you're interpreting your gradebook properly and that you know exactly what to do to revise. Revision is pretty important for this round of writing because our final project, which you'll get not this week, but the next week, our final project, you're going to take the writing and the research that you just did, and you're going to turn it into an actual presentation where you're going to talk through all the things that you found. And you're going to create a PowerPoint. So I will provide you directions for that final project next week. But just know that the reason I'm asking you to revise this writing formative is because if you have everything you're supposed to have here, then when it's time to make the presentation, you're just going to be moving information. You're going to be taking, okay, here's some evidence I used in my essay. I'm going to use it in the presentation. So I'm trying to make sure that you don't end up getting that final project and being like, what the heck is going on? So let me know if you need help with this. All right, so we have our journals and we have our revision of writing formative number 2. The last part is what I'm excited about for this. Well, let me take that back. I'm excited for you to revise your essays. Don't get me wrong. But I think you guys are going to find this one a little more fun. I split this up over most of the days of the week. So my suggestion is to do the essay revisions today on May 4th. That way you're done with it, you submit it, and then I can get your grades updated for you. And then you'll have the rest of the week to do this. you're going to write a creative writing piece. So if you think about um, the film versions of Romeo and Juliet that we watched, you have excerpts of Romeo and Juliet. You had excerpts from other books that all showed the ways that authors convey their opinion on the cultural norm. So now you're going to become the author. You're going to become the director. I made a link here to help you see how we've progressed through everything that we did this unit. Then I have directions here for you to use. So you'll open these up. You've got your directions right here. Read them. You get a little overview of what we're going to work on. Then I put this together just to help you out because I don't think all of you need this. I think some of you may be like, oh, I have an idea, and you made me just ready to go. But if you aren't ready to go, this is going to help you look at some examples and maybe some how-to guides so that you can be successful on this assignment too. So you're going to pick one type of writing. You can do any of these types of writing. Here's a description of what it is. And then I included some resources that you could use, like examples. So for example, if you want to write a short story, I gave you these examples. If you just Google those, you can reread those stories and remind yourself, we read those in class, and what did you learn about them? Narrative essays, this is something we didn't really work on this year, and so I included a how-to guide, two different guides to help you with writing a narrative essay. If you're someone who likes to just write about real life, this is probably the one to pick. Then you have some poems, right? So you could choose to write a series of poems. There are 2 examples of 2 poets who do that. You could write a short story, which we've read a bunch of short stories in our class, and those are some examples. So you can use some of the things that these authors do. You could write a quote-unquote reality show. So if you've ever seen like The Office or Parks and Rec or any of those shows, those are like kind of filmed as though they're reality shows, but they're not actually reality. So you can script out an episode, a short episode of a fake reality TV show. And then you can either turn in the script, or if you want to perform it, you can perform it. If you turn in both, that's going to put you in the 4, like to get 100%. And if you turn in one or the other, that puts you in the 3 range. Then you can do the same thing for a scene of a movie or like a regular TV show or something. So one is like fake reality and one is just straight up fiction. You've got some materials here. These will actually help you with this as well because it's the same idea of writing a script. This one's really official, so if you are someone who's intrigued by looking at how like the professionals do it, use that. If you're like, no, I'm not growing up and being a movie director, but I want to do this one's a little bit more user friendly. I think I would probably use this one. It's just easier to use. But if you're really curious about what they are supposed to look like professionally, that's a really good source to use. And then down here you have your success criteria. So if your project's going to earn a 3, these are the 3 things that need to be true about your project. If you want your project to earn a 4, it'll be these things. So there, to earn a 4, there's these 2 extra descriptions, but then there's also this one here. Anything else you can do to make your project stand out. So if you want to earn a 4, you would make sure it's also these 2 things, and you could turn in a script and perform it. Or if you can think of another way to creatively go above and beyond, that can count for that last piece. If you have questions about that, let me know. I know this is kind of a confusing way to explain it. I don't want it to seem like it's really hard to earn a 4 because I don't think it is. I think every single one of you could earn a 4 on this project. You could earn 100%. So talk to me if that's confusing. Let's see. I think that's about it. For those of you who wanted the extra writing challenge, you can use, I need to get rid of this. You can use this slide to add some extra style to your writing. This is optional, so please only do it if you were looking for a writing challenge. And then if we look at our checklist, there are 3 things you're going to turn in. You have your personal journal. Then if you did a writing formative number 2 revision, you would turn that in. And then finally, everyone will turn in this creative writing piece. So I think that's about it for this week. If you have questions, let me know. If you notice weird things about your grade book, if I've forgotten to put something in, please just keep letting me know. It's kind of confusing to stare at a computer all day, and so, as some of you already know, I've been making some mistakes, but I really appreciate those of you who have let me know if I've made a mistake so that I can correct it. We're in the home stretch. I'm really proud of those of you who have stuck with this. I know you may not feel it right now, but I think that the work you're putting in right now and the strength of character that it takes to do this, even though it's difficult, is something that's going to follow you through the rest of your life. When we go back to school and you have in your toolkit the tools to be successful no matter what, to not need to be told what to do every day, to set your own goals and meet them, that is going to be a life-changing thing for you. And I know you didn't ask for it, and it does suck, but I think ultimately you're going to see that you have grown in a way that the people who haven't been doing anything haven't had the chance to learn how to do yet. So good job. Keep it up. We're super close. Talk to me if you need anything. And enjoy yourselves. This is kind of a light week because I know you're prepping for your exams. I know I've given you some significant work. So I want this creative writing piece to just be kind of fun and something where you get to do something creative that's a little different than usual. Okay. Have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. See you later.